Warning: the following video contains graphic content that will be disturbing to most viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. So we're talking officers again. And the worst ones we've ever seen.
Fancy intro music, yeah! Woo!
Hey everybody, on this video we're going to be taking a look at bad officer loadouts, like what not to do. Like, oh my goodness, can you believe this guy hit me with this? Actually, we're going to hold off. We're not going to spawn it yet because real quick, I got to say, if your name appears in this, please don't take it personally. It's not a direct attack on you. It's simply a learning experience for all of us, including yourself and for me, because officers is the most complicated subject in this game. And to be honest, even if you watch all my videos, you still might find yourself going, well, does this work or does it not work? So what we're going to do is take a look at 4 different screenshots, 4 different loadouts, and explain why these are terrible, and hopefully you won't make those errors in the future. Does that sound fair? Like, look, it's not a bashing episode, although it is kind of funny. Some of these officer loadouts are just like, woo boy. But you can at least see what we're talking about, and you can have some fun, I guess. So let's roll it. Let's start with the first one. Bam, bam, right there. As you can see, we've got a Saladin loaded out with Keensner, Vixis, and Javad. Oh my goodness, this doesn't even make sense, like from any perspective. Like, there's nothing about. Let's talk about the officers real quick. Load up our officers and sort by group. So the first one we're going to run into right here is Javad. So the secondary ability of this officer is reinforcements. If the ship is a battleship, but the Saladin is not a battleship, sir. It's not. That's not a battleship. It's an interceptor. FYI, interceptor. If the ship is a battleship, Javad increases its armor by 30%. Remember, that is a base increase, so it's not a increase based on a cumulative bonus. Remember that video I did about how attack works, where I showed you, 100, 300, 360? He's simply giving a plus 30 to the base, so it's not even that much of a boost, but he doesn't work on that ship. Next up, let's go to another officer, which we're going to see now is Keensner's going to be the next one we see. This one's funny because he displays differently when he's in a ship versus right here. But let's look at him right here. Emergency repairs is the captain. So as long as it's in the station, it's not currently in the station. It's not currently in the station. Keensner increases the whole health of the ship by 20%. If it was going to be useful on any boat, it would be a battleship. Not this. It'd be a battleship. Secondary ability is fine-tuning as long as it's in the station. Increases the shield health of the ship by 20%. Once again, this would be useful on like a battleship or even miners, like throwing up a cavort just to run a screen so that ships have a tough time getting through it and your guns can hit more. But never on this, ever. And then finally, you have Vixis. And let's scroll on down. This is actually one of the first cards you get in the game. You get this one very early on, part of the Glory in the Kill set. And her energy absorption actually works here. Decreases the energy damage of opponent players by 20%. So that one card actually fits here. But the thing with the Saladin is you don't want to outfit your Saladin to decrease your opponent's damage. You want to outfit a Saladin to increase your damage and work on mitigation. Remember the top 2 things I'm always telling you about: mitigation first, attack second. Mitigation first, attack second. Mitigation first, attack second. So what's very common on Saladins? People running max morale. Back out, we'll scroll up to the top of the officers. Running max morale, running Spock, Kirk, and Bones, with Bones as the captain there. You see on my main account here, I can now upgrade a max Bones. Thanks to the past, present, and future box that we got about a week ago, I can now take Bones to max, and I'll have 1,000% shield regen if I ever use it. Pretty, 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 pretty. Anyway, that was number 1. Let's look at number 2. Whoo, buddy, speaking of morale, we got a Kamari running Spock as captain. Oh my, no. And then Scotty, and then Arkady. Oh boy. All right, boys and girls, let's play the game. So if you don't know how Arkady works, let's start with him. Officer ability increases shield health of the ship by 16%. Base number, by the way, not very effective overall. If you needed to have morale for some reason, like there was a character that needed morale to work, Spock needs morale to work, by the way. That'd be his captain's ability. When the shield is depleted, Arcadi has a 50% chance of inspiring morale for 3 rounds. Not very useful at all. But if you wanted to, you could. But he's on the side here, so. Montgomery Scott, Born Engineer, increases the total hull health of the ship by 16% of its original hull health. I like how this one actually specifies how it works because they all work off a base number. But whatever. Anyway, he actually does kind of work on a battleship here. So it's not terrible there by Rostro, but still not a optimal loadout. Far better things that you can do. Kumak, Nero, Odysseus is a generic go-to, works way better. Heck, there's a lot works. Morale works better. You know, real morale, not this. And then just to clarify, if you've never seen or know how Spock works, his captain's ability is called illogical or logical. It increases the accuracy of the ship by 50% at the beginning of each round. Accuracy is an explorer buff. Yes, it will work on ships like Thukumari. You do have accuracy on all ships, but if you really want to get that maximum buff in terms of how it affects mitigation, that's an explorer ability, not an ability for battleships. And then illogical. When the ship has morale, Spock restores the shield health to an amount for me because it's max 750% of the defense of the officers on the ship. Except nobody's turning on morale in this battle. So completely useless. Next, we've got Backless on Backless Crime. You see me, I'm running morale. Couldn't put a video up of me doing something bad. Got to put up me doing something good. So I did. But over there, what the heck is going on? Let's talk about it because it does do a little bit of damage. So we'll go back to our groups here and scroll on down and talk about some of these officers, which, funny enough, some of these officers actually work now, but not how we're doing. So let's start with Gala. So Gala is a great officer for anti-critical damage from hostiles. I've talked about before using Gala in an Armada group because she will negate the Armada damage when run with Pike. Pike plus Gala equals 0 critical damages in Armadas, which can be very useful as a group. But for this loadout, it's no bueno. No bueno for this. Now, I can understand if this person was trying to do a secondary hostile loadout. So, Officer Rinaldi, if that was your goal, it is interesting what you're trying to achieve. I get what you're trying to do. It's still not the best. Let's look at Vel. Vel is very interesting here as the captain. Dilithium Hunter increases dilithium rewards for defeating a hostile by 25%. If you are level 24, you should not be relying on hostile hits for dilithium. You need to start raiding. Start raiding. I know you're hitting people and they work so hard for the resources, then boo hoo hoo. You ain't gonna do anything with all that. And then the secondary ability, chirurgical ability, precision. If the opponent is a hostile, Vel increases the damage made by kinetic weapons of the ship by 50%. There's no kinetic weapons on Lavaclis! It's energy weapons on Lavaclis. Doesn't go there. Next up, and the final but last but not least, Gonzalez. Very interesting to see her out. Problem solver. If the opponent is a hostile, Gonzalez increases the damage of critical hits for your ship by 20%. Once again, if you're looking for another crew loadout because you've got another crew loadout already, whether it's Pike Monroe Chen or Captain or Cadet Uhura, Cadet McCoy, I get the attempt here, but it's still all messed up because some things just aren't fitting. And the key is all 3 officers at least need to be primed to work with the ship that you're in, and that's not the case here. Though I do admire the attempt to find another hostile crew. Simply needs more tweaking. Last but not least, oh boy. Oh boy. So you've got me running a hostile crew. I was hostile farming, by the way, and I happened to find this one, didn't attack it, and I just went, huh? So Winter Grey is running Kurla as captain here, Chang and Azadbur. And yes, I'm still saying Azadbur wrong after 2 years. Let's start with Kurla as captain. Kurla's captain's ability is evasive maneuvers. When the shields are depleted during the battle, Kurla increases the dodge of the ship by 50%. So for those who don't know the mitigation in this game, dodge is the interceptor ability. Now remember, all ships have armor, shield, and dodge. All of them do. However, different sections of ships or different types of ships have different focuses. So an interceptor focuses on dodge, whereas a battleship focuses on armor. So this ability of evasive maneuvers is not that good on a Kimahri. It's actually not good at all, because this isn't even a cumulative bonus where eventually the dodge gets so high it actually starts working above the mitigation number. This actually would basically never work at all on a Kimahri, because it's a one-time buff, and it only go just trust me, okay? And then attack maneuvers increases the critical hit damage by 40% when firing kinetic weapon. Now, yes, the Kimahri does have a kinetic weapon, but it only has one. It has one kinetic weapon. The odds of it hitting a critical and then you getting this bonus are very, very slim. So this is not an ideal captain at all. Will half of him work? Technically. But is it good? No. Let's look at the next one. Az and Chang. Let's talk about Chang real quick. He's the officer here, Dogs of War. If the ship deals a critical hit to the opponent's ship while it has a hull breach, nobody's causing a hull breach here. There is none. But anyway, 40% chance of delaying its next weapon attack by 1 round. Now, people have asked, is Chang broken? Does he actually work? Yes, he works. The way Chang works, if he had hull breach, is that the weapon that he's activated from, so like if you get hit by a ship that has 4 weapons and you get hit by weapon 3 and that weapon fires the next round, weapon 3 and weapon 4 will not fire the next round if they're designed to do it. But if they're not designed to fire that next round and they skip that round, which a lot of ships later in the game have guns that skip every other round and stuff, then it kind of is useless. It depends on what weapon it triggers Chang and then what the firing pattern of that is. So Chang can be useful, but Chang's also very unpredictable based on what you're trying to fight. You can use Chang for going after like separatist bosses and stuff. It is possible to actually get him to work effectively, but once again, not here, not at all. And then last, but certainly not least, the Queen herself, Azadbur, giving a bonus to armor piercing. Weapons with multiple shots will only trigger this ability once per attack. Example, D3 fires 1 weapon that does 2 shots per round. So that would only activate her once. But that armor piercing bonus is once again a base increase. And unless you're fighting a battleship, it doesn't help you that much. And unless you're an interceptor fighting a battleship, you're not growing that much in the mitigation game. Now, Az can be very useful in different situations, but here, not at all. And literally, she's the only one currently here that could turn on hull breach for Chang to even possibly use. But alas, that's not the case. So hopefully seeing some of these officer loadouts that are incorrect gives you an idea of what is correct. We've gone over battleships, explorers, and interceptors in this video. And once again, this is not at all to bash the player. We all are learning and growing in this game and trying to have fun. But this is why you should not load out certain officers on certain ships. And as always, if you have questions about officers and how they work, drop them down in the comment section below, because I love you. Live long and prosper. Stay safe, other Space Cowboys. I'll catch you on the next one. And real quick, if you want to support the channel, hit that like button, subscribe, or think about hitting that little join button that's like right over there so that you can sign up for monthly content, some awesomeness, and all the goodies. See you on the next one. Pieces! An even better outro than the intro. Yeah!
Woohoo!